As of November 2024, there are almost 3.5 crore NRIs and PIOs living outside of India. The Indian diaspora is the largest overseas diaspora in the world. These NRIs contribute to the Indian economy by sending home money to their families in India, thereby contributing to forex influx and money rotation in the economy. In 2024, NRI sent an estimated $129 billion from various countries to India. This was the highest amount ever received by a country in a single year. Also, between April and August 2024, NRIs invested $7.82 billion in NRI deposit schemes in India. Other than these remittances and investments, NRIs also pay taxes on the incomes that they generate in India. It is but natural that the NRI diaspora will also have various expectations when the budget is to be announced to see if there are any reforms that could make India a more attractive destination for NRI investments. In this video, we will look at 10 NRI specific expectations which the NRI diaspora and the experts have put forth for the upcoming budget. The Union Budget 2025 will be presented by the Honorable FM Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman on February 1st, and before that we will bring you videos on what various sectors have maintained as expectations from the upcoming budget. Welcome to the Fintelligent Investor channel. I am CA Pratiksha Pai. Today in this video, let us understand what are the expectations of the NRIs from this upcoming budget. If you feel that my talking speed is slow, you can watch on a faster speed. The relevant timestamps are also given. So let's dive in. First of all, even before understanding what are the expectations, let us understand why investing in India becomes important to the NRIs. See, for many of our NRIs, despite staying for any number of years in certain countries, they do not get either a citizenship or a permanent residency. So they need to spend their retirement life in India, and it becomes prudent for them to invest in India in real estate or in NRI deposits or in Indian stock markets. Another thing is, many of the NRIs do not even get pension benefits or retirement benefits when they come back to India after retirement. Keeping this in mind, of course, one thing that I would like to highlight is that if you are an NRI, you should definitely start retirement planning in India, within which you should set up your investments in such a way that you will get pension every month after your retirement as well. There are many pension plans in India in which the NRIs can invest and earn a good pension monthly income and live comfortably without downgrading your lifestyle even after retirement. Now, given that the NRIs have a motivation to invest in India, as well as the fact that Indian GDP has been lower than estimates, combined with the fact that the government is trying to slowly push the economy towards being a consumption-based economy, definitely there will be related expectations by the NRI diaspora when it comes to union budget. Before we try to understand the importance of the exact expectations by the NRIs, let me also tell you, if as an NRI you are interested in any pension planning for yourself or any other growth-based retirement planning through Indian markets, we at the Fintelligent Investor have a team of experts who can assess your requirements and guide you in a proper way. Our email ID is given in the description. You can email us if you require a team of experts to assess your case. Well, so coming to the point now, experts like Deloitte, EY and many other experts have put forth certain budget expectations aimed at easing the tax compliances, especially for the NRIs. Expectation number 1, simplifying TDS compliances. The first suggestion put forth is in respect of simplifying the complicated process for property transactions of NRIs. Presently, if anyone is buying a property from an NRI, such buyer, whether a resident or not, must withhold taxes at the highest rate as compared to when the seller is an Indian resident. Then the TDS is just 1%. Then the buyer must also obtain a TAN number and file ETDS returns. What happens is that many a times such TDS amount is not even offered as a part of the property loan, and the buyer needs to separately arrange that amount. This amount turns into a huge amount because it is a percentage of the property value. Once the property is sold, the NRIs then need to apply for a refund of these taxes paid by the buyer, which needs to be done in the subsequent year. So a whole lot of properties may remain unsold just because the buyer doesn't want to fall into these complexities. However, now a suggestion has been put forth saying that if a challan cum statement system is introduced similar to resident transactions, then the process can get streamlined and reduce the burden on the buyers and the complexities on the part of the NRI seller. Expectation number 2, tax payment from foreign bank accounts. The second suggestion put forth is to enable NRIs to make tax payments from overseas bank accounts. The present scenario is that NRIs pay taxes on the incomes that they generate in India. However, they need to make these tax payments from Indian bank accounts. However, to enable a better convenience, it is being suggested that NRIs be allowed to pay taxes from foreign accounts as well. Expectation number 3, OTP option to foreign mobile numbers. The next suggestion is to extend OTP options to foreign mobile numbers. Whenever NRIs come to India, we say that one of the things they need to do is to be updating their Indian numbers on all official platforms, because for many official transactions, including tax filing OTPs, the OTP goes to the Indian contact numbers. However, now it is being suggested that OTP options for e-verifications be extended to foreign mobile numbers of NRIs, thereby improving the process and offering more convenience. This would greatly simplify the tax filing process for NRIs and reduce paperwork and remove the dependency on Indian mobile numbers. Expectation number 4, leveraging DTAA benefits. The next suggestion is towards leveraging better DTAA benefits. NRIs often have to deal with double taxation on certain incomes despite India's double taxation avoidance agreements with various countries. So it is but natural that there is an expectation that this budget will provide an enhanced clarity on DTAA provisions for incorporating the DTAA benefits into TDS returns and to reduce tax liabilities on incomes which have already been taxed outside India. Before going ahead, let me request you, if you feel our videos are knowledgeable, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you get timely notifications of our future videos as well, which we will articulate in a very simple and easy language. Expectation number 5, simplifying the process of repatriation of funds. When it comes to property transactions of NRIs, there are a lot of issues currently, not limited just to TDS. Once the NRI completes any property sale transaction, the repatriation of the property sale proceeds involves again multiple steps under the FEMA guidelines. So there are suggestions to bring in reforms to simplify the process of transfer of funds to foreign accounts. Once a trust has been established that NRIs can repatriate funds from India to foreign accounts in a quick and simple and easy manner, this will boost the confidence in NRIs to invest more in India, knowing that they can repatriate the funds back whenever they are in need of funds. Expectation number 6, diversified investment opportunities. The next suggestion is towards expanding investment opportunities for NRIs to invest more and in a diversified manner in India. Though there are many investment opportunities in India for NRIs, however, many of these investment schemes are restricted to residents. So the NRIs are expecting the government to open more investment avenues for them. This will also benefit the Indian economy by paving way for more investments to flow into the economy. Expectation number 7, better tax incentives. When it comes to tax incentives, the NRIs also expect that the tax incentives be expanded beyond the existing tax benefits, like certain exemptions on interest earned from NRE accounts and deductions for investment in life insurance and provident funds. Expanding the tax benefits further will make India a more attractive investment destination. Expectation number 8, clarity in residency rules. The next aspect where the NRI diaspora is expecting more clarity is in the residency rules. As per the Income Tax Act, an NRI, which means an Indian non-resident citizen, can retain their non-resident status even when they stay longer than 60 days, provided that the income threshold is also met. However, the term visit has no concrete meaning under the law, which is leading to many ambiguities. The NRI diaspora expects that some clarity on what constitutes a visit will help NRIs to better determine their residential status. If you are clear till here, comment the word budget so that I will know that our language in the video has been easy enough for our audience to understand what we are trying to deliver. Expectation number 9, ITR 1 applicability to NRIs. When it comes to taxes, of course, everyone, may it be residents or non-residents, would want the procedure to be as simple as possible. Currently, the simplified ITR 1 return form is available exclusively for resident individuals who have income limited to salary, one house property, agricultural income up to 5,000 rupees and other sources. Now understand, many NRIs may also have limited income sources in India, like a house property from which they may be getting some rental income. So covering NRIs in form ITR 1 will also help to simplify the tax filing and compliance process for the NRIs. Expectation number 10, amendment to form 10F. And finally, we come to expectation number 10, which is in respect of filing form 10F. See, presently, if NRIs want to avail tax treaty reliefs, they have to e-file self-declarations in form 10F, wherein they have to confirm that they possess a TRC, that is tax residency certificate, from their overseas jurisdictions. This in practicality poses a complexity because the TRCs for future periods cannot be submitted since they are unavailable at the time of filing tax returns. So an amendment to form 10F, which can allow the taxpayer to declare that the TRC for the relevant future period will be obtained and provided subsequently, would ensure a smooth compliance without any procedural complexities. If you are an NRI, I am sure you too would agree with these suggestions put forth in respect of the NRIs, which the NRIs would love to see in the upcoming budget. What actually happens, we will all only know on February 1st, of course. I hope this video was educative and useful to you. If you as an NRI are eagerly waiting to know what piece of pie is awaiting the NRIs in the upcoming union budget. After the budget, I will also post on what impact the budget has on the NRIs. So please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss that video as well. Please like the video if you felt that the content in the video was useful and helpful, as well as share it with your friends and family. We will continue to come up with more such budget expectation videos from various sectors. Till then, stay subscribed, stay connected. Thank you.